What it do, what it does, YouTube? That boy back with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about stretch bigs. Now, this is mainly for stretch bigs, but this is also going to go for any pure shooter out there, all right? If you're a pure sharpshooter, this will apply to you too. Now, the first thing I want to say is this video is going to be relatively long. I'm going to cover a lot of topics in here, from defense to offense to off-ball to on-ball to everything that I feel makes my stretch big what it is. And hopefully it helps some of you guys out. Now, if it does, please drop a like on the video. If it gets to 2,000 likes, I'll make a part 2 where we talk about more advanced things like becoming a dribble god and all that stuff. But before we get into the tips, let me just break down exactly kind of who I am for those of you that don't know. I have over a 96 win percentage on park. I shoot almost 80% from the field and just under 80% from three-point land. This is all with my stretch big. I played a few games on my post-scoring athletic finisher in the beginning of the year, maybe like 5 games, and then I switched to my stretch big. In Pro-Am, I'm the 12th leading scorer on the leaderboards right now at 33.3 points per game, and I've had multiple 100-point games, including a 151-point game in Pro-Am. Now, I'm not telling you this to make it seem like I'm the best player ever, because I'm nowhere close to the best 2K player, but I just want you to understand that I do know what I'm doing on my stretch. I know how to score, I know how to be efficient, and I want to help you guys out. So please drop a like, and let's get right into this. So the first thing we need to know is you have to understand the build. Now, every build is different depending on height, arm length, and all that, but as long as you make a power forward, pure stretch, this is going to be your badges, okay? You're getting Pick and Popper Hall of Fame, one of the best badges a shooter can get in this game, and we will show you why later on. Catch and Shoot Hall of Fame is an absolute must. That is a great badge. It's going to bail you out of a lot of situations. Deep range Deadeye, I have it on gold, but it goes to Hall of Fame, and this is going to be very, very crucial, especially on a stretch, because you can shoot over people. Yes, you can still shoot over people here in NBA 2K19. Not quite like 18, but you can still do it. There are ways. You get Corner Specialist on gold, and a limitless range on gold as well. Now, it'd be nice to have limitless range on Hall of Fame, but you get it on gold, it's good enough. The last important badge is difficult shots on silver. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be asking for my build. I've posted a video on my build already. You can go check that out if you want. I'll leave it down in the description. But I want to show you my animations so that when you see what I'm doing on the court, you understand how we're doing it. Now, the jump shot, you can do any jump shot you want. I am still using the jump shot that I posted not long ago. I'll leave that in the description as well if you want my jump shot. Now, the first thing you need to know is the dribble pull-up, normal 4. The reason for this is when you get your grand badge, you can shoot off dribble very, very consistently. Normal 4, in my opinion, is the smoothest and best pull-up for a pure stretch, okay? The next most important animation, again, you can put anything you want as long as it's comfortable for you, but the next most important is on the dribble moves, okay? And we're going to get into this a little later, but you're going to need, you can do anything you want, of course, like I said, but you're going to need normal 2 moving crossover, and you're going to need normal 3 behind the back, okay? Those are the only 2 I'm telling you got to have. If you put those on, when you get your grand badge, it'll be over. We'll talk about that more towards the end of the video. You see my other animations here. Layup packages, obviously you can't get any besides default big, otherwise I would have something else on. You see the dunks that you can get, nothing really special, but we'll talk about dunking and getting wide open for dunks because you're not going to want to go up with anything contested this year. You see the post stuff that I have on, it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't be posting up that much regardless, so let's get right into our first topic. The first topic we're going to be talking about is catching and shooting. I'm not going to talk long about this. All I'm going to say is the more you do it, the better off you'll get at it. There are a few catch animations in this game that are going to slow down or speed up your jump shot because your guy's going to maybe take a step forward, take a step to the side. He might bobble the catch a little bit, although the bobbles are much better this year than they were last year. You also might get a gather once in a while, but you don't get gathers nearly as much as you did last year. All I recommend is for being a better person on catch and shoot, do it often and you will get better at it. It's as simple as that, and that's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. The next is a 1 dribble pull-up. This is one of the most underrated things that I don't see many shooters do. Once you're knocking down shots, right, everything's catch and shoot, bang, bang, bang. You're going to get in a situation like this spot right here. Let's freeze it and analyze this. You have enough space to get a catch and shoot off, right? You've been lighting this guy up now. You've hit probably 3 threes on him. So you have to realize what he is thinking. He's like, oh, here we go again. He's going to pop it. And you will get a feel for this the more you do it. Instead of shooting it, you're going to let him fly at you. You're going to take 1 dribble and you're going to pull up. I know I took 2 dribbles there, but you understand my point. You're going to be patient. as you play on a stretch or a pure shooter more and more, you're going to find this situation come. Now, you could shoot that shot, but you're going to get a lightly contested shot right here, probably heavily contested. Instead, I can just feel when the person they're just nervous, you know? They feel like there's that fear factor because you've been lighting them up. You've already hit a few shots on them. So instead, you're going to take one dribble, maybe two dribbles to the side, create just enough space to get an open shot. Now, right there, he didn't fly at me, but I just had a feeling that he was ready to contest. So I just took a dribble instead just to create just enough space. Again, he goes flying by. I pull up. Work on your one dribble pull up. It's a great move. The next one we're going to talk about is the stop and pop. You have to be able to shoot off dribble. And I don't mean off dribble like a shot creator. I just mean when you're dribbling, you have to be able to stop and shoot at any moment. I recommend, obviously, the more you do it, the more you'll get good at it. But if you pause for half a second and don't push anything, right? I'm sprinting, I back up, I let go of my stick for half a second. I'm not pressing anything, and then I shoot. You'll get a consistent shot every time. No gather. No weird animation. You'll be standing completely still. Only need half a second. You're sprinting full speed down the court right here. You're going to see I stop moving for half a second. I pull up. I get the same timing every single time. The more you do it, again, the better off you'll become at it. Get comfortable with this. It's an absolute must. Now, the next thing in stop and pop is if a player is behind you, shoot the ball. You see, I stop. He even hits Y, but he can't contest it. It's open. If they are behind you this year, it is a open shot, especially as a stretch big. I'm 7 feet tall. Even if he presses Y, he's not going to block the shot. You can hold LT if you want to do the new crab dribble, but it's not necessary. You can literally just stand in front of him. He won't be able to go through you, and you'll be able to stop and pop and green. The next thing we're going to talk about is what I call the left stick cheese. Now, you can use this in multiple ways. I'm going to show you a few ways here. Now, I'm sprinting full speed, and he's running with me. So instead, I just pull the left stick back. He gets nervous, and he jumps. I'm going to step to the side and get an open shot. Now, it looks very simple, and you're like, oh, that guy must be trash. But you'll be very surprised how off balance this gets people. It's very tough. It's similar to the zigzag from last year. This is more like the zigzag if you use it side to side. Now, in this situation, I go to the corner. He's there to contest, so I rock to the left, I rock back to the right, I create just enough space to get a shot off. He gets a lightly contested shot, but I'm a stretch big. I'm going to be able to make that. Use your left stick to your advantage, you'll create a lot of room. Next, we're going to talk about the right stick, the stick that's actually meant for dribbling. So in this situation, I'm running down the court. Now, these two players are very nervous because they know that, especially with my grand badge, I can stop and pop at right about that distance. So they're sprinting at me. Very simple move, and you'll kill people with this, I promise you. Just flick down on your right stick to go behind the back. Put on the animations I told you, and watch what happens. You go behind the back, kill both of them. I have my grand badge. Talk about the grand badge later. Shoot off dribble from half court, and it's green. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is that moving crossover and the behind the back combination of the two. So let's break this down. Instead of doing the crossover, I like the between the legs. To go between the legs this year, for those of you that don't know, you need to pull the right trigger and push the right stick diagonal down in the direction of the opposite hand. So right here, I go diagonal down left, diagonal down right. And when I get about 3 feet away from the defender, I'm going to go behind my back. Now, don't think I got an ankle breaker. He just flopped, but it makes it look even cooler. If you combine the between the legs with the behind the back at the end of it, you will be devastating. It is a great combination. Pure sharps do it, and you can do it on your pure stretch. I do it a lot when I get my grand badge because you can shoot off dribbles from anywhere and hit greens, so it's even more lethal. But even without your grand badge, you can still do this combination and create enough space to get a normal shot off, not going off dribble. But you can go between the legs as few or as many times as you want and then end it with the behind the back. It's a great, simple combo, and you'll get open quite a bit with this move. The next thing is the AA glitch, and I call it a glitch because it's kind of a glitch, but it's kind of not. Now, some of you might not like this, but if you want to be a great stretch big, you have to know how to do this. The AA glitch is basically using the A button to change directions quickly. Now, you see here on the 2s or the 3s, you can use it to kind of cut right behind the inbounder. You can do this on the inbounds or just in open play, and you'll get open quite a bit. It's really cheesy. It's really hard to guard. It really shouldn't be in the game, but it is. So if you want to be a great stretch big, then you need to know how to do this. You can absolutely kill people. You'll get open all the time. You see you draw extra defenders. Right there, I was smart and took an extra dribble, like we talked about the one dribble pull up. But to do the AA glitch, test it out for yourself and you'll get more comfortable with it. Some people double tap A, some people hit A once. You play with it and figure it out for yourself. But basically, as you go to cut and change directions, you tap the A button. That's essentially what it is. See, I tap A again to speed boost out this way. But let's have a little IQ. We see this man here, he's coming to help. Don't just AA glitch and think just because you get open you can shoot. Especially if you're on threes or in Pro-Am, you're gonna have help defenders coming. So you see here, after my AA glitch, I see the help coming as the pass is coming to me. I hit the next cutter, the help rotates down, we end up getting an open three. You can AA glitch to create a shot or to get your teammates open. The next thing, probably the most important thing about playing as a big man, whether you're a stretch or just a regular center, is screen IQ. Now, we're not going to go over every situation. We're not going to go over the basics of pick and pop, pick and roll. Those are pretty simple. I just want to show you what you should be looking at in a few different situations here, and hopefully you can bring that into every situation you're going to see in the park or the Pro-Am. So the first thing, read your defender. This is the guy that's guarding me. I see that he's hedging out way too far. Now, as a stretch big, I can pop to the weak side of the court and get a three. I know right now there's no way he'll have time to recover if I pop. The next thing you need to read is this guy here. If you're running the double screen here action like we are, you need to read the second defender. I see that he starts to sprint towards the ball. So essentially, by him and my guy picking up the ball, that leaves one guy to pick up both me and my teammate. Right now, right away, our first thing is spread out. We're both shooters. If we spread out, we're going to get an open jump shot. We spread out, leaves one guy to guard both of us. He can't do that, obviously. We get an open three. The next situation we're going to look at is if it's just me and the point guard in the pick and roll. Now, as I come up, if the center is doing what he does here, first of all, he's very high. I can tell he's committed to picking up on the point guard. He is going to show out on the point guard to not give up a three, which is a smart thing to do. So instead of holding the B button, which is going to slow me down tremendously, if you hold the B button, you're not going to be able to roll right away. Instead of setting the screen, I just slip. Without even pushing B, I slip right to the hoop and get an easy two. That's something you have to have in your arsenal. The next one we're going to look at is what happens if the point guard doesn't use the screen and he gets into the paint. Now I'm reading the point guard. The guy guarding him is beat, completely beat. I have two guys on me, nobody on the point guard. This leaves a 2v1 situation. I just need to stay away from the basket. I fade out, he gets an easy layup, and we go on from there. Now, like I said, we're not going to be able to review every screen situation. Every screen situation is different. I'm just trying to show you a few things you should be looking at. Read your defender, read the second defender, and if you're in Pro-Am, you're going to have to read third, fourth, and fifth defenders, where they're hedging from, where you should pop to, where you should roll to, where the pass should go. There's a lot of things to consider. Just take the IQ that I just gave you and implement it into every situation you're in accordingly. The next thing, defending. Now, obviously, a pure stretch big is not a defensive build, so I'm just going to give you a few situations and a few tips for how you can be more effective as a stretch big. First thing, you're tall. You're 7 feet tall. Use it to your advantage. Something that I've noticed as a tall player, as a bigger player, when I pick up on guard, you would think to slack off. I find it that I play better D if I push right up against him. For some reason, I feel like my guy, his strength or whatever the case may be, he just plays great defense. Now, use your length. You can steal a lot of passes with a pure stretch just because of, your height, your wingspan, all that. You're going to be able to intercept passes. Now, the next thing you have to be able to understand is as a stretch big, you have to be able to defend pick and roll, pick and pop situations. Now here, as he comes off the screen, I'm hedging just enough. Now, like I said, use your height. If he were to shoot that ball, I can get a contest on it, but I'm not hedging too much that the roll is wide open for the center. I'm able to contest the shot if necessary. If he tries to hit the center on the roll, I'll be able to intercept that pass. I'm hedging it just enough to give my point guard time to get back. As you see here, hedge it, my point guard gets back, I'm able to bump the roller, and there's no way he's going to be able to score. We got the ball clamped up, we got the passing lane clamped up, it's great defense. He has to settle for a tough fadeaway jumper. I have box out because I was only hedging, I was able to get inside position, and we're able to get the stop. Now you have to communicate with your guard, whether you want to switch, whether you want to hedge, whatever you want to do, you and your guard need to communicate and be on the same page. This is just one example of how to defend a pick and roll. There's many ways to do it. Decide what's best for you and your team, and then all you have to do is execute. The last thing we'll talk about in this video is your grand badge. You guys probably call it takeover. I like to call it grand badge. The first thing you have to realize is when you get your grand badge, you should be the center of attention for the offense. You can shoot off dribble 3-pointers from limitless range consistently and get greens. You can also pull more contested shots. You can also shoot from deeper. The Grand Badge helps you do everything much more effective, and you are just an unstoppable three-point machine. So make sure your teammates are looking to get you the ball at all times. You can do things that normally you can't when you get your takeover, and obviously threes are worth more than two, so make sure they're looking to get you the ball. Now outside of that, guys, like I said, it's already been long enough. This is just a bunch of really basic things I do with my stretch to be really effective. 2,000 likes and I'll drop a second video where we get more advanced about how to become a dribble god with your stretch and all this other cool stuff that I do. So let me know if that's something you guys would want. If you made it this far in the video, I can't thank you enough. Comment big greens down below so that I know you made it this far, and I'll catch you on the next video.